In this video, the topic is loops in Java. What is a loop? General meaning of a loop is something that runs continuously so that the same things are repeated again and again. Same applies in a programming. If there is a situation where you want to repeat some part of the code, either a specified number of times or until a particular condition becomes false, in this case, you may use loop control structures to avoid code redundancy. For example, I want to print my name 5 times. So to print the name, I'll write the code system.out.println inside the parenthesis inside the double quotation marks Mira. Println method is used to print the text to the console. This statement system.out.println will print the text just once. If I want to print my name 5 times, I need to write the statement 5 times. Each time the interpreter reads the statement, it prints my name. Now writing this statement 5 times is still feasible. But what if I want to print my name 100 times? Is it sensible to repeat the statement 100 times? No, because being a good programmer, you should avoid code redundancy. What is code redundancy? Code redundancy is repetition of code. You should try to keep your code compact and readable and avoid repetition. In this scenario, you go for loops, where you write the code inside the loop and loop will do the repeated execution of it. Java has given 4 kinds of loops: for loop, while loop, do while loop, and for each loop. For each loop we will be learning after understanding arrays. Let us learn what is for loop. Syntax for loop is for keyword. Inside the parenthesis, you need to write initialization statement, condition, and increment or decrement depending upon the logic. This is the opening curly bracket and this is the closing curly bracket. You need to have curly brackets that defines the scope of the loop. Inside these curly brackets, write the code to be executed. Now the first statement here is initialization. What do you mean by initialization? Initialization is assigning the value first time to the variable. Here you initialize the counter variable. Counter variable is used to iterate the loop as many times as you want, depending upon the condition. Next statement is condition. If the condition is false, control of the execution does not go inside the loop. The loop terminates here itself. But if the condition is true, the control of execution goes inside the loop and the statements inside the loop will execute. After the statements are executed, the counter variable is updated using increment or decrement operator as per your logic. Again the condition is checked and this goes on until the condition becomes false. Once the condition becomes false, the control comes out of the loop. Let us understand this with the help of a program. We are trying to print the text 5 times in this program. This double slash denotes single line comment. Write a comment to state what task we are going to do in the program. Define a class keyword followed with a class name, for loop demo, inside the curly brackets, define the main method and write the code inside the main method. Signature for main method is public static void main and it takes string array as a parameter. Please refer to the previous videos for the basic concepts. Here we have declared the variable named I and the data type for variable I is int. Variable I will work as a counter variable for our loop. Using variable I, we are going to iterate our loop. So as soon as the interpreter reads this line, memory for variable I is allocated inside the stack. Next we define the for loop. For keyword, inside the parenthesis, you need to initialize the counter variable. I have initialized I equal to 0. Semicolon, specify the condition, semicolon, and specify the increment statement. And inside the curly brackets, write the code to print the text to the console. System.out.println OJS for Online Academy will be printed to the output screen. Now how it works? Once the interpreter reads this line, for keyword denotes that it is a for loop. Inside the parenthesis, first you need to initialize the variable which works like a counter. Every time the loop iterates, this variable will increase its value. You need to decide what should be the initial value of the variable as per your logic. Here I have initialized it to 0. When the interpreter reads I equal to 0, Value 0 will be stored in the memory allocated for variable I. So this is the memory allocated for variable I, and value 0 will be stored inside it. I want to print my text 5 times. Hence, the condition I have specified is I less than 5. Here, the value of I is 0 less than 5. 0 less than 5 condition is true. Hence, the control of execution will go inside the loop and it will execute the statement system.out.println and print the text Ojaswa Online Academy for the first time. So when the counter variable is 0, it has printed the output for the first time. Once the execution of this statement is over, the control will go to the increment statement. Now what is this I++? It is a shorthand for I equal to I plus 1. You can also write I equal to I plus 1. Let us solve this equation. So value of I is 0 plus 1. Hence, now the updated value of I is 1. Inside the memory, the value of I is updated to I equal to 1. From here, the control goes to the condition statement. It checks whether I is less than 5. What is the value of I? It is 1. 1 less than 5. Condition is true. Hence again the control will go inside the loop. It will execute the statement and print the text Ojaswa Online Academy for the second time. So when counter is 1, the text is printed for the second time. Once again, when the execution of the statement is over, the control will go to the increment statement, that is I++. Now the value of I is 1 plus 1, hence the updated value of I is 2. Hence inside the memory, I is replaced with 2. After the value of I is incremented, the control of execution will go to the condition statement and it will check whether the condition is true. Now the value of I is 2 less than 5. 2 less than 5, condition is true, hence the control of program will go inside the loop. It will execute system.out.println and print the text for the third time. So when counter is 2, the text is printed for the third time. After execution of this statement, the control will go to the increment statement and I++ is executed. Value of I is 2 plus 1 equal to 3. Now the updated value of I is 3. From here, control goes to the condition statement and the condition is checked. 3 less than 5. 3 less than 5 condition is true, hence the control comes inside the loop. The statement inside the loop is executed system.out.println and it prints the text for the fourth time. So when counter variable is 3, the text is printed for the fourth time. After execution of this statement, again the control goes to the increment statement. I++ is executed. Value of I is 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. Hence the updated value of I is now 4. After the value of I is incremented, the control goes to the condition statement and the condition is checked. 4 less than 5, condition is true, hence control of execution comes inside the loop. The statement inside the loop is executed system.out.println and it prints the text for the fifth time. So when the counter is 4, the text is printed for the fifth time. After the execution of the statement, the control goes to I++. Value of I is 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. Now the updated value of I is 5. After the counter variable is incremented, the control goes to condition statement and the condition is checked whether 5 is less than 5. Now 5 is not less than 5, hence the condition becomes false. And now when the condition becomes false, the control of the program will not go inside the loop. It will come out of the loop and loop will stop iterating. So from here, the control of execution will go to the next line of the code after the for loop and it will execute this statement system.out.println and it will print the text for loop to the output screen. In this manner, using the counter variable, we have iterated the loop 5 times from 0 to 4 and printed the text 5 times without repetition of the code.